Hey there everyone, it's Matt and Mike here at Skagit Valley College Marine Tech again. And being that it's March 1st, we thought we should probably give you the February update that you've all been waiting for. I don't know if you guys caught it, but Mike at the Seattle Boat Show mentioned that we will be putting King's Pride up for sale soon in the next couple months.
Yeah, apparently we did. It's not going to be finished, but yes, King's Pride, we've done this. The purpose was to do training, get the systems working, sell the boat. We can't afford to keep a boat like this. So we'll have the February, March, April updates. May is when we're planning on selling, auctioning details, make it available. We'll have tons of coverage on that.
Absolutely.
And then the new owners will be in June. We'll launch. Target June 1st and commit to that.
For launch.
What do you think we should have done before we launch?
Well, the big stuff, I mean, there's lots of little stuff that still needs to be wrapped up on the boat, and honestly, whoever the fortunate, lucky new owner will be will have kind of their opportunity to pick and choose some of those fine details, but the big ones are we need to finish up wrapping up a bunch of the electrical installations and then connecting up the engine. So we're finalizing getting our fuel systems and our exhaust connected to that engine, so we can test her out. When we get her in the water, we can run sea trials. So still have some work going, and staying busy, definitely staying busy. Thanks for ordering all the parts, by the way.
Oh man, Matt, this is killing me. So Art's actually out there doing electrical right now. Like it takes a village. Yeah, I didn't, $10 a foot for this, $20 a foot for exhaust hose. I bought this fitting, it was $57 because we're like, oh, we need to tee in for the saddle tank, and oh my gosh.
Stainless. Only the best though.
We bought the boat for $25,000. That spreadsheet's on Cruisers College. March will be marvelous. $100 grand, man.
We're gonna hit it.
We're gonna hit it.
The big 100.
Yeah. So anyways, it's just what it is. It's the price of doing business. So
absolutely,
and we're not even going to be done.
Absolutely.
But keep following us. So we got some upcoming stuff of everything that's been going on, and
absolutely, yeah. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll again keep you guys posted with these monthly updates, and then a whole bunch of content coming on King's Pride soon.
Fishery Supply showed up again. This doesn't look like $5,000 to me. $5,000 just isn't what it used to be apparently, but we've got isolation transformers, we've got fuel fill, battery boxes, some distribution panels, a whole bunches of stuff, and in the big box is a beautiful new 3-burner, 4-burner stainless steel propane stove oven that is going to look awesome in that galley. Old Force 10 stove, these are all wiggly jiggly. Oh, man, that's what I'd call a Skagit Valley special right there. No good. I mean, it served a purpose for a good 40 years and was beautiful, but I think we should replace it. Up here, little boat jewelry, brand new Force 10 4-burner stove oven. The old one is just too beat up. Beauty of this is it matches the gimbal mounts exactly the same as the old one. Sitting over there. I'll show you a picture of it that we're getting rid of. Exciting this month of February. This is looking good. Starting to mock up the propane box that Art got built here, and where we're going to put our regulator and gauge so that we can hook up to either tank. It's coming together. Nice. Then inside this new little sink box, this is working out amazing. We got some repurposed doors that I think are going to work. These are from Union 36, another Bob Perry boat that went to the crusher. In here, we're thinking you'll have nice access for your sea basket, great access to the seawater pump. We're going to put we got the Raycors right here, primary electric priming pump, fuel filter on the Yanmars right here. Nice access. The drip tray is dropped down right now, but this is turning out sweet. All right, well, we were talking about this new galley. It's going to come from the refrigerator right around. We're going to lower this, do some wood butchery, but new sink. And then what we've done is on the other side, look in, I showed you the sea strainer and fuel filter and stuff, but look at this. Put some disconnects on the sink, and when it comes time for longer term service, opens right up access to the belt, the alternator, water pump, fuel system, you name it. That is awesome. What do you think, Art? Is it gonna work?
I think it's going to be pretty trick. You can get in there, get what you need done. You can get most of your easy maintenance done from the front, but if you need to get in there and do something a little bit more involved, or you just want to clean your engine, or whatever.
Yeah,
it'll be
and
easy
then
to get to.
this drip pan also that Art made is removable. It slides out, but normally we don't expect a brand new engine to leak much, but you can just take an oil zorb or just wipe that out. But it's nice and white. You're gonna see if your early warning signs, if anything's happening. Access to this is amazing. I'm gonna put a start battery down in there and a garbage can probably. So that's gonna work out really, really nice. Okay, back here on the starboard side, we've got the isolation transformer, our multi-plus, the Skyla over here. The refrigeration compressor is going to go here. The refrigeration lines are coming through here. Down underneath this shelf, that's where the condenser is, and the outside of the hull. And then just on the other side of this bulkhead is where the two hull inlets will be for our power. So one hull inlet to the Skyla for the European 240, the other right in through this transformer. So this little area here is shaping up nicely. They're starting to put a conduit in to run above the engine down in here, figuring that out above the muffler. So we've got a nice place to get between this equipment and over to the other side of the boat where we're going to have our distribution wall and our batteries and stuff like that. Stay tuned in March. We're going to be putting a lot of wire in this boat. So here in the galley, there used to be a big electrical distribution panel here, which we're moving over to the walls over there. Here's our hull inlet. And so what we're thinking is we built a new mock-up here. We're going to put something in like this, and then somewhere on here will be the main AC breaker. So you'll just have a shore power available reverse polarity light in this little space. Back in here, if I get way back, this is going to be our distribution wall for electricity, and then we'll cover up the engine here with some soundproofing. Batteries down in here in the quarter berth. Down here, got final alignment done, bolted up, ready for the prop, and we have to put packing in the new packing gland. In the chart area, we're mocking up fronts. This panel here, we got some weld mount studs up here, and this panel will fit up in here just like so, and this will be for our terminal strips and stuff, and then the distribution panel will be out in front of it hinged down. So a lot of behind the scenes provisioning done to get the electrical system installed. All ideas we did for all our terminal strips behind the DC panel, and when it opens up, it should look good. We're going to need to make a piece of wood to mount all those on, because that's the actual hull right there. This is another project. We just test fit and ran the fuel fill in to make sure it worked. We've got to put in, this is our fuel tank cover from about a year ago that we made when we cleaned the tank. We got to get the fittings welded in, and right here we're going to mark it up for a sender so we can have a fuel gauge. So that's going to go off to the shop for the final fabrication, so we can actually put fuel into the tank and hook up the engine into the tank. Galley area here, down in front of where the new stove's gonna go. Electronics class, they got the other transducer mounted. There's gonna be two transducers, so we gotta build a little access, we gotta turn this into a hatch. Right now we just got a little piece of plywood so nobody gets hurt. Okay, up in the V berth, we've extended out the floor a little bit to accommodate this new double berth. Added a step. Here's that round piece of plywood we're getting fit in. It's coming out really nice, and this is that extension that Emerald Marine did, and we got a piece of trim right here. Still got to figure out a cabinet door But that's coming together really nicely. Okay, Art. We just spent an hour or so planning. Apparently, that's a big part of this job.
Apparently. So, Santa called around Christmas time and said, hey, we're going to buy a bunch of stuff that's blue. It'll all be the same color. And we made a nice list of Victron products that we're working towards integrating onto the boat. The problem is, it's not an aircraft carrier. It's a sailboat. There's not enough room for some of this stuff. So we have to have a plan. We started with making little wooden mock-ups so that we can have a sense of, well, this is going to live here. Does it fit? Is it get wires getting to and from it? So we've started looking at some of that. We've got a mock-up of the battery. You know, everybody's still pretty happy that that's 200 amp hours out of a battery that size. And we actually had a question about it. So we opened the box and yep, it's that size. So the information on the internet is correct. So we started with a plan today because we got to figure out what wire goes where and start making accommodations. So for our battery system, we're going to start out with a battery box, which is in the quarter berth on the port side. We're going to have 2 batteries, 2 LiFePos, which are 400 amp hours, which is a robust battery for a 39-foot sailboat. Getting the power out of that box, our original plan was to put the Lynx distribution system that Victron makes, which is really nice, and we're going to have it nice to the name of the batteries, and it was going to be a dream to work with. And then we started seeing how big the product was, and like I said, we purchased, and then now we're integrating the plan rather than having the space and planning ahead. But at the end of the day, now this is the plan because every plan changes. So we have the battery box with a couple of Victron lithium iron phosphate batteries. We're looking at going to a Lynx power-in system where we might have each battery have its own individual fuse. That might have to change to a bus bar and then to a Class T fuse. No matter what, before the battery power leaves the battery box, it's already going to be fused down to, this will be a 350 amp with 4-aught cable running around to an area where we're calling it this wall, the distribution wall. And that's where our Lynx BMS and our Lynx distributor will be. We're going to use the Lynx distributor as both an input and a output. So we're going to have things like the solar charge controller is going to come in here. This will be fused. The alternator will come in here. This will be fused. And then the boat will have a European setup Skyler. So if you're ever in a country where it's 50 cycle, you'll be able to plug in shore power. It'll charge the batteries, and you can still live off of a North American grid system, 60 cycles. So on this wall, we're going to have that BMS that I said, and then the distribution. Somewhere off of that, we're going to put a battery protect, which is going to be our disconnect relay to shut the battery discharge off if the BMS isn't happy for any reason. Off of that, we'll have a single feeder wire to a block, a Blue Sea block of the MRBF fuses, which will go to our house panel. And then we have 2 battery-to-battery chargers, one going to the bow battery for the anchor windlass, and the other one going to the start battery. These will both be AGMs, and they're going to be separate from the house battery by a fair amount of real estate. So we'll have cabling running to those loads. Over here in the confusion here, we have a AGM start battery, which will be on the starboard side of the Yanmar, or the engine. And we have some loads that are going to need to be constantly fed, like bilge pump and things like that. So we've got a parking lot for those with OCP, and I think
Little
that
red things are is your disconnect for the
we have some switches. We're going to have another switch One of the things we haven't figured out yet, because this is a notional plan, you can see I've got a couple of question marks marking our uncertainties. I don't know that I can come off the end of a Lynx distribution to power up a multi-plus. These things are designed to lay together in a system, and all your outputs are designed to go out the bottom or the top if you were to invert the lid, but they're designed to be kind of in that relationship, and I'm hoping that I can cabbage onto the ends and have two cables come out the end that I'll feed my multi-plus. Its OCP will live back here in the box, but I'll have a local disconnect switch because this will be in the lazarette of the boat. These three items, the isolation transformer, multi-plus, and the Skylar battery charger will all live in the lazarette near shore power. So this is mostly DC, and this is our plan today. Tomorrow's another day. Somebody could erase all this and we'll have to do it again. Thanks for watching.
Okay, this is we went from the mock-up boxes and things to actual equipment and temporary still to try and figure out, Shane and Christian are working hard. Big 4/0 cables and stuff. What kind of bend radiuses do we have? Where are we going to put switches, distribution, stuff like this, and it's working out really nice.